friends, welcome back to a new video. Today we have another what I eat in a week. I'm so excited about this one since it's Asian recipes. I'll be showing you guys what I eat for lunch and dinner and yeah, how I make the dishes. So hopefully you enjoy. So the first dish we're making is Korean Kimbap. Now this is the first time me making this, so first you're gonna want to chop up all your ingredients. So I chopped up some mushrooms, some zucchini, some tofu, and some carrots. I cut everything into a long shape so that it goes nicely into the kimbap. Then I also had some thawed frozen spinach that I squeezed the water out of. And when you have all your ingredients chopped up and ready, we're going to fry them up. So firstly, I'm frying up the spinach, just adding some sesame oil for some extra fragrance. And just frying that for a few minutes until it's fragrant. I added some sesame seeds as well. Then next I'm frying up the carrots, also added a little bit of sesame oil. Fry that slightly, again for a few minutes until fragrant, and the same thing with the zucchini. Then lastly we have the mushrooms. I fried that up with a little bit of soy sauce to give it a little bit of extra umami-ness and some more flavor. I also added the tofu in with the mushrooms just to fry it up in the soy sauce. Then prepping the rice, I added some sesame oil and some salt to the rice and mixed that up. And then you have all your ingredients ready, so it's on to rolling. I have a toasted seaweed sheet to which I'm adding the rice, spread that out, and then I'm adding the ingredients. So firstly, some pickled radish that is made for sushi or kimbap. If you don't have pickled radish, you can use just pickled cucumbers. Then I'm adding the veggies, the tofu, just all the ingredients that we fried up. So the mushrooms, and lastly the spinach. It might look a little full, but it will wrap up, I promise. So now it's time to roll. Make sure to roll everything really tightly and go slowly. And there you have it. When you've rolled all your kimbaps, you want to brush them with a little bit of sesame oil and then cut them into bits, and that's it. Serve it up and it's so good. Next, we're making fried rice. Firstly, again, cut up all your ingredients, so carrots, then also sweet bell pepper, some tofu, and some mushrooms. Also some onion and garlic. And some ginger. So we're going to fry up all our veggies. I started with the mushrooms, fried that until fragrant. Then added the carrots and the bell pepper, and then lastly the tofu. And just fry everything up until it's fragrant. Here I added the ginger, onion, and garlic. Then I decided to add some frozen green peas. And then once the veggies are all fragrant, I'm adding rice. I would even suggest adding a day's old of rice. It will taste a little better since it's a little more dry. And fry that up, and then I make a well in the middle and add some soy sauce. You want the soy sauce to directly hit the hot pan so it has a little bit of a burnt flavor. And yeah, just fry it up and you're done. Yum, I'm so excited. Fried rice is such a comfort food. You can always have this. And it's so easy. You just throw in all your leftovers. feel like when you make a vegan or vegetarian fried rice, adding mushrooms into it really gives it that umami taste. I feel like it's always so much better when I add mushrooms. Next, we're making banh mi. This is my first time making this. So I'm cutting up the pickled vegetables, so some carrots, just into matchsticks, and also a cabbage turnip, just again into matchsticks, and then add that into a bowl, add some vinegar just to cover it, and add some sugar, and that's it. You want to marinate this for at least an hour, but of course the longer the better. Then it's on to the tofu. I'm cutting it up into slices, patting it dry, and then we want to marinate it. So I have some olive oil, adding some cracked pepper, some soy sauce, and lime juice. And also some garlic and ginger. Then you want to marinate the tofu in that, just coat it on all sides and let that sit for at least 15 minutes before we fry it up. Just fry it up until it's slightly brown on both sides and you're done. So on to the sandwich. I have a whole grain baguette to which I'm adding vegan mayo and then adding the fried tofu and our pickled vegetables. And then I added some frozen coriander just because I didn't have any fresh ones. And that's it. I'm so intrigued to try this sandwich. I've never had banh mi, so I don't even know if this is authentic or not, but let's give it a taste. I like the pickled vegetables and then the creaminess of the vegan mayo. It's nice. For dinner, we're making a variety of Chinese dishes. First up, we have the mapo tofu. So I have some soft tofu that I'm cutting up into cubes. Then preparing the garlic and Chinese chives that we're going to be using. Then in a pan, we're frying up some doubanjiang, which is basically fermented soybeans. Then adding the garlic, some Sichuan pepper, and adding some water. Then to the water, we're adding the tofu, some soy sauce, and carefully stir that all around. Then adding some cornstarch to thicken up the sauce, and that's it. It's so simple, but so good. Next up, we have a simple fried cabbage dish. So we're cutting up our cabbage, mincing some garlic, and that's it. We're basically just frying up both of these. Really simple. Once the cabbage is slightly browned, I add a little bit of water and then covered it with a lid. And once the cabbage is done and steamed to your likeness, you're done. Next up, we're making steamed eggplant. So I'm cutting up the eggplant. Just going to let this steam for a few minutes, and in the meantime prepare the rest. So we have garlic, chives, some Sichuan pepper again, chili, and a little bit of sugar. Once the eggplant is done, we're going to transfer it into a bowl, add the seasoning on top we prepared, and drizzle hot oil over it. And also adding some vinegar and mixing that up. And it's done. This is so simple, and you can enjoy this hot or even cold. So after what feels like 2 hours of cooking, the food is done. I'm really intrigued to try all of these. Kind of winged them on the spot. Eggplant is really good. mapo tofu is really good. Really spicy, but it's nice. For lunch the next day, we're having leftover, just the same as the night before. I cooked up some noodles to substitute for the rice, mix that in with the mapo tofu. And use it kind of as a sauce. Curious to see how this tastes. Then I'm making a masaman curry, which is a Thai curry that I really love. We're cutting up some carrots, peeling the potato, cutting that up. Also, I decided to add a sweet potato to it. Then we're frying up our onion, adding some ground coriander seeds and some ground cumin seeds. Then we're adding all our cut up veggies, frying that up before we add our masaman curry paste. Frying that up again, or we add the coconut milk. I'm adding some cinnamon and our pre-washed and soaked brown lentils, and let that cook until the lentils and potatoes are almost done. And then I'm adding some frozen cauliflower to our curry. And that's it, you're done. I'm drizzling some lime juice on top, added some coriander, that's it. Next, I made some Chinese dumplings, some really XXL huge Chinese dumplings. So first thing, cutting up some mushrooms, frying that up so the water comes out in a sense. Then cutting up some tofu, cutting up some spring onions, grating some carrots on the smallest setting. Then I squeeze out all the juice from the carrots so that they're more dry, and here I am drinking the juice. It was really delicious, but again, I also really just love carrot juice in general. Then grating up some ginger and some garlic and adding seasonings like soy sauce, sesame oil. I just forgot to film this, but my recipe, it will be linked. Then it's on to folding the dumplings. So add your filling and fold it. You can roughly see me folding here. Again, watch the video where I explain it in more detail. But I was really lazy folding that day, so I made them really big, so I had less to fold. Then cook them in water for a few minutes, and when they're done, strain them and enjoy them. The skin of the dumplings was a little hard and dry when I folded them, so I'm curious to see how they taste. And also, I was just super lazy on the form. These don't look pretty at all. Oh, these are so good. And the skin is also really good, at least for my standards. I love it when we have leftovers. There's just so much less work for me to do. Then we're making onigiri. So I'm cutting up the tofu into slices. And then I am getting some fermented bean paste and basically just buttering that on top of the tofu, then frying it up that way until both sides are golden brown. Also grated a carrot and added that to the pan as well to fry up. Then cutting up some pickled cucumbers for sourness. Added some sugar to our cooked rice and some vinegar, mixed that up. And we've prepped all the ingredients. So next up, it's on to assembling our sushi sandwich. So we have our tofu, then adding the carrots on top, and also the pickled cucumbers. Then adding another small heap of rice on top, and it's on to folding. So fold in the corners of your toasted seaweed sheet and form it a little to your liking, and you're done. Make sure to refrigerate it or wait for a little while until the seaweed softens before you enjoy. Next up, we're making fried noodles. This is so simple but so good. So firstly, cutting up our ingredients as always, starting with the sweet bell pepper, then also carrots. Then I cut up some spring onions and some tofu. Cooking the noodles, and when they're done, we're frying up the veggies. I added this wok seasoning paste that I had received as a gift and wanted to try it out. Then adding the spring onion, mix that up before adding the noodles. Fry everything up until you feel like it's nice and fragrant, and you're done. I feel like these noodles are not really fit to be fried like this. They seem very fragile and sticky, but these are seaweed noodles, so I'm really excited to try. I don't think I've ever had seaweed noodles. It's not bad. The what is it called? The wok seasoning, or this paste, really gives it a nice flavor. Next up, we're making sesame noodles. So I'm to a large bowl, I'm adding some peanut butter, some tahini butter, then adding soy sauce, vinegar, mixing that up. Also add a little water. I added the water of my steamed broccoli, then mix that up, be patient, and add water as you go. This is how it should roughly look like. Then adding grated ginger and garlic. Then I also decided to harvest some Chinese chives from the garden. Cook your noodles. I cooked some sweet potato glass noodles and add those to your roll. Mix that up. You can also add a little bit more water if it seems too dry, and add your chives on top and enjoy it immediately because the noodles will get drier. We're excited to try these noodles. We also have some broccoli as a side. The noodles are definitely something different, more tangy. Maybe you could have added some sesame oil, I think that would be nice. But I really like the tahini flavor. Next, we're making Chinese fried pockets. So firstly, we're making the dough. Basically, it's the same as the dumpling dough. Mincing up some ginger, some garlic, some soaked shiitake mushrooms, then also grating a carrot, cutting up the tofu, and seasoning with soy sauce, some sesame oil, some 5 spice blend, and mix that up, and your filling is done. So next up, we're working with the dough. So basically it's just like dumplings but bigger. So you want to add your filling and then close it up. Just really simple, pinch it all the way down, no fancy folds or anything like that, and then fry it up once you're done. Once you see the bottom is golden brown, you add some water and then cover it with a lid to steam. And when the water is basically gone, you want to flip your pockets so that both sides are brown. And when both sides are brown, they're done. Basically, I guess this is like a massive dumpling. Let's have a go. Add some chili. Of course, anything fried is always really delicious. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and comment down below which of these dishes looked the best to you or you would love to try. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!